Hey there, this is Bill Brown, Idaho CTE. I wanted to walk you through how to set yourself up with MBA Research. So I'm sharing the screen right now. I would start with, again, step-by-step, excuse me, instructions would be go to the MBA Research State Connection. That's going to be your Google search. You're going to see it right here, okay? Now, once you do the search, you'll see the MBA Teacher Research Portal. You'll click on that. Now, that will now take you to your register here. You'll click on register here, and it will take you to the page. It's loading up as we speak. Okay, you'll type in, I've already registered a course, but you'll type in your name, your information, click what type of instructor you are. Again, whether you're a teacher, what your program area is. Most of your program areas, for the sake of this conversation, is going to be business. You can look at economics, whatever you want to click on that as well. And of course, you're not a robot, and then submit. And then what will happen is you will then get you will then go into the login stage. Well, they will walk you through the login, which will get you to this page once you add your password and whatnot. Okay, so now we're going to click and log in. So for the sake of argument, I'm going to assume that you can get to this point. If you need help, you can reach out to me. But once you get to the MBA Research States Connection resource portal, you will log in. Okay. It will now take you to the login page, and you're going to come over here to where you're going to see the MBA Learning Center. So you will click on that, MBA Learning Center online. Okay, it will bring you to this page. You will then access the Learning Center. Okay, there's also resources here if you want to double check, but we're just going to go straight to the Learning Center, which is now mbainstructure.com. Now, I would strongly recommend you bookmark this page. But normally when I just type in MBA.instructure or start typing instructure, it will come up. It autofills my username and password. So we'll click on that. Okay, now we'll take you here to the Learning Center. This is where you can get access to any type of resource you need for your classes. Now, the way you get the resources will be down here in the Commons area. So I'm going to click on the Commons area, and you're going to see how to access your resources. So it will update modules that may have been added or updated. I just closed out of that. But what you're going to see here is you're going to see a whole bunch of different resources. Now, to walk you through how it works, when you see a course, that means it's already, the whole course has been created. When you see a module, you'll see that's a specific section that's available to you. Okay, and some courses might be a little different than others. So let's just start with sports marketing. A lot of people are teaching sports marketing. So you'll see here, there's a complete course. Now you're going to see here, this course actually is the course I created. So we're going to click on that. And now you'll be able to go through here and you'll be able to see all the different modules that are available in here. Okay. I guess the preview doesn't show anything. So let's go back to a different one here. I guess maybe that came up because it was mine. So let's go here to this course, Sports and Entertainment Marketing. As you can see, there's different levels of length here. So this one only has 2 modules. Now, what I would do when I was teaching, I would complete a module per week with the kids. And I had a kind of a 4-day process. And I'll show you here in a few minutes how that works. But you can see there's only 2 modules here. So that's not going to make a whole course for you. So I'm going to go back to the search and let's see what else is there. See if there's any other classes. So let's just go sports marketing, finish the search. The whole idea is to kind of look and research and see what you've got here. Okay. Again, to see this course, is that the one I just looked at? Yeah, 2 modules. We don't want that one. So let's go to another course, see if there's a full course, Sports Marketing 1. Okay, somebody's already created this. Now you're seeing 11 modules. So that's making more sense because 11 modules, 11 weeks, 2 full semesters, roughly 18 weeks. So again, this might be a good start for you. So then you can scroll through and you can see the different modules that are in there for your learning. So there's The first module is career and sports entertainment marketing. Next module will be wide world sports marketing, market identification. And again, each of these modules can be a week for you. That's how I did it. How to get data would be a week. Some of these you can take 2 weeks. It's all about what you want to do for your class, okay? This is obviously geared more towards marketing data right now, more than a ticket. I think that's a good one. And you can just keep going. Nature, product branding. Again, these are all great resources for your marketing. So this is for argument's sake, say you like this one, okay? So now what you're going to do is you're going to import it, come over here and you're going to import and download, okay? So I've got a whole bunch of courses here, but I'm going to create a new course over here first because I want to import and download it. So the way you set up a new course is you're going to go over here to courses, and then you're going to go all courses down here at the bottom. You can see I've made a bunch up. So if you want me to share one of my courses with you, I'm happy to do it. Okay, so again, look at the courses here. It looks like there's a lot of them. I'm a little bit wrong on there. You might need to go to the admin and pick a course there, create a course. You can see here, the courses are up here. I'm going to add a course. See right here where it says add a course. So you go to admin and add a course. You'll click on that. If you need me to help with this, let me know. I'm going to call it sports marketing demo, and the reference code will be the same. And I'm just going to add the course. Okay. And so down here, what's going to happen is it's not live yet. So we're going to go over here because these are all live courses. So I'm going to come over here and click on sports marketing demo. I'm going to start by clicking on that, and then I'm going to add me as a teacher to start. I'm going to come down to people, and I'm going to add me as a teacher. And in fact, this is probably the best course to set up for you right now because it's not complete, but I'll show you how to add modules so that you can make it your own. So again, here's my new, everything's correct, MBA Research. I'm just going to add me as a user. So now I'm pending. I'm going to go up here. I'm just going to click into the site again because it'll ask me if I'm willing to join. I'm going to accept the invite. So now I'm a teacher in this course. Okay, so with that being said, let's go back to the learnings, or go back here to the commons that we were at, because now I have this course designed. I'm going to go back to the commons, and I'm going to now be in a position where I'm going to find that course again. We'll go sports marketing. Okay, so I'm going to go find that course. Where was that? I think Sports Entertainment Marketing 1, the master course. That's the one I think I saw that had the 11 modules. So on the details, let's see here. Yep, it had the 11 modules. So now I'm going to import it to my class. So I'm going to import it to the sports marketing demo. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to say import into the course. Okay, now it might take a little while to get there because there's a lot of data going through. So I'm just going to jump in and go to a regular course that I already have set up so you can see how to manage your course accordingly. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my courses. Let's go to, we'll do this one that we just set up for one of our teachers. I will click on that, and we will see all the different modules. Now, what I do is I collapse all of them. So what happens is each module will now be collapsed, so I can see the list of modules and the order for which I want to teach. Okay. Again, let's wait for it to collapse. Sometimes it takes a few minutes, and I'm going to show you a little workaround on why this takes a while to upload. So I will show you a little bit of a few kind of hacks, if you will, once this sets up. Okay, so you'll see there's a whole bunch of modules, and each of these modules has all these resources. So while I'm waiting for it to collapse, you can kind of see it will walk you through. It will walk you through all the different resources that you have. Okay, So what I'm going to do is this is the hack. I always right click on and open on in a new tab. Because sometimes, again, if you have one set of tabs, it takes a while. See, again, it's not working for me. So I'm going to open link in a new tab, and it comes over here, and you'll see it loads much faster. See how that works? And so I'm going to wait for that. But I'm going to shrink down that collapse this long one right now, but you'll see it has all the different resources. So again, while it's waiting to load, let's go through and see what we have here. You'll see has 3 different sections. It has activities. It kind of walks you through how you would teach the unit. Now, what I do is I always go over to the downloadable part. This is where I always start. Actually, I started the glossary. So I'm going to right click on that glossary. Oh, there it is. It's finally working for me on this one. So I'm going to collapse all of them. Okay, so now you can see a list. Let me close that one off. So now you can see a list of all the different modules. So if you think about it, each of these modules can then get you through the MP003, SE017. These are all identifiers for each module that you have. So as you can see, there's quite a bit of resources there. Okay, so what I always do is I'm going to show you how I would use each module at this point. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open it up so you can see the list. So let's just go through one of these courses. So it will walk you through it. It gives you the so what, and the so what is essentially sets you up with the essential question for the module. Okay, then you go next. It will give you a pretest. Okay, and then you can go next. It will just walk you through the whole course. Now, I didn't set kids up in Canvas because it just added another piece of complexity to their system, whether it be their own Canvas or Google Classroom or whatnot. So I stayed away from having the kids log in, but at least that can kind of show you what your resources are. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you how I used the coursework and the content. Okay. So now we're coming back to the first module. And again, there's as many modules as you want in here. And I'm going to show you how to add and subtract modules if you want. But let's just say the first week, I want to teach this section here. Okay. And so what I would do is then I would just shrink it down a little bit. Right now, you can't see my screen. So let me see if I can change the screen sharing. Okay, I'm going to turn off the sharing. I'm going to turn off the sharing for a second and see if I can do a whole screen here. There we go. We'll do it this way so you can see. So you can see my screen, and you can see here that I have the window open on my screen. And so what's going to happen is this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to right click on the window and say new folder. Okay, so now it's going to ask me for a name. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to click here, edit, because what this allows me to do is allows me to copy the name of the module. So we're going to copy, Control C, and then I'm going to cancel because I don't want to really change the name of my Canvas, but I'm going to rename this folder. I'm going to rename this folder to the name of the module so I have continuity everywhere. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down to the resources. Now, I always start with the resources. And again, I'm going to right click in a new tab because it just seems to open faster for me. So now I'm going to take the glossary, and you can see there's a whole list of glossary items there. So I'm going to take all the glossary items, okay, and I'm going to copy it into a Word document. And the reason I'm going to do that to a Word document is because I want to be able to save it in that folder. So I've just saved it. And I'm going to save as onto my desktop, because you're going to see that that folder I just created. Where is it here? There it is, MK012, and I'm just going to name it MK012 glossary. And now I have it saved. The reason why that glossary is important is because it gives you an opportunity to be able to create a Quizlet Live for it. And the Quizlet Live is a great review exercise, and I'll show you how to use that today too. So again, glossary is the first thing I do. I've got the glossary, so now I can exit out. I've got what I need. Now I'm going to come down here to the downloadable information. I'm going to right click into a new tab, the handout that's color, and I'm also going to right click in a new tab, the PowerPoint presentation. Now, the reason I do that is you're going to see right here, it'll say download the PDF. I'm going to download it. And it's going to be up here in my downloads. And I'm just going to move it over here to that folder I have. Again, if you see it, you grab it and drag it. Okay, so now I've got what I need here. I'm going to exit out. I'm going to go to the PowerPoint presentation. I'm also going to download that. Okay, all these are saved in your download folders if you forget where they are, and I'm going to drag that over. So now I'm going to open this folder up, and you're going to see I'm starting to have some content now, right? So you'll see here that I have the content. So I have the reading material, which is called the LAP, and if you open up the LAP, you'll see that this is basically a textbook type of format here. You'll see all the reading summary, everything you need for their reading is right there in its electronic version. Okay, so I'm going to close that out because that looks good. Same thing with the PowerPoint. Let's take a look at the PowerPoint here. You can see that. And what's going to happen with that is you can see if you want to use the PowerPoints. Now, I personally don't use PowerPoints a whole lot, but I wanted it to be a resource online for students who may be missing school, or if we get into a lockdown again or something along those lines, it gives you a lot of resources to give to your students. So now that I know I have it, I'm going to close it out. Now I'm going to go down to the teacher, the instructor section, and you can see everything you need to know. So I'm going to right click on everything here that I'm going to use the discussion guide. I don't do on the bookshelf, but I do the discussion guide. I do the individual activity answer guide, individual activity 2, group activity. You're seeing I'm opening all these in different windows, handout A, handout B, and I'll show you what all those are. Learning guide, which is basically a review for the test, the key so they can correct themselves, the post-test, which I'll walk you through how I use that, and then the post-test key, and then your gold. Okay, so with that being said, okay, I'm still coming over here. I'm going to close this window out because I'm going to be able to drag it over here, and then you'll see how it all works. Okay, so let's start with the About the Lab. You can see you can get an idea as far as the standard right here, kind of what the objective is: to understand sports event marketing role and function in business and facilitate economic exchanges with customers. Explain the nature of marketing, which is the standard. Okay, so again, it does give you some standards, so you can cut and paste this if you like into a document as well. I don't worry about it. But again, it's a really good source for you to understand what the standard is. Okay, so I'm going to close that out. Actually, let me rephrase this. As a new teacher, I'm going to want you to save that. So I'm going to copy it. I'm going to put it in a new document. And then now you have the standards and you have the About This Lab. We'll save it as onto the desktop. We'll go back to that and we'll call it About. So then you have you can have access to some of the standards, so that again you can be very deliberate about your teaching, which is what we've been teaching you, okay, at First Camp. So I'm going to close that out. I don't need it anymore. Now you can see the discussion guide. Now the discussion guide, I'm going to download that. And the reason I'm going to download that is because if you need some coaching as to how to teach something, this is a great resource for you, because what it does is it can walk you through all the slides. It will give you questions. It will give you discussion points. This is a fantastic cheat sheet to be able to help you be in a position where you can teach and or relearn, because you're new to teaching and some of these concepts might be new to you. Now it's 14 pages. Would I have you read these to a class? I mean, you can if you want to do it. If you want to follow along the PowerPoints with these examples, it's just up to you. Again, it's your classroom. You do what you're most comfortable with. Okay. So now I'm going to double check the discussion guide is in there. Yeah, there it is. So I'm going to move that over here, and then I'm going to exit out because I have it downloaded. Individual activity 1, it's a matching assignment. So you can print these out for your students and have them do the individual activity. I'm going to download that. Now, what I would do with this is once I would have them do the activity, then I would maybe have them compare notes with one of their friends or a table partner so that they can double check. And again, that gives repetition and frequency. So then I'd let them verify with their partner. Did they have any, or are they all aligned, or do they have any disagreements? And then they can maybe dig deeper and make sure they got things right. Okay. Now, the next one is going to be the key. You can also hand out the key so that they can quickly determine, get immediate feedback to see where they got right or what was wrong. So again, I'm going to download that. Okay, the answer guide. So you're seeing here, you're getting activity 1, you're getting the answer guide. So everything is falling right into play. You're getting all the curriculum you need. Okay, so I'm going to close that. Now here's more of an open-ended individual activity. Now I like using Lee's as well because they can do it with each other as table partners, even though it's an individual activity. But it's more of an open-ended type of question, which makes them dig a little deeper. And then what you can do is have them do all this, and then you can maybe have a group conversation with the class to go over this so that they can understand how it works. Again, a sporting event on television, or if they can, maybe you can show a YouTube version of a sporting event. You can, there's all kinds of options you can do. Now, you don't have to use every activity, by the way, but what I'm doing is I'm storing all the content so you have access to it should you decide you want to use it. Okay, it's downloaded. So I've got that. I'm going to close it. Okay, now we're going to go to the first group activity. Okay, and if you're noticing, I'm not even really looking at these activities right now. I have no idea whether I would use these activities or not, but I'm trying to get content set up so then I can determine if this is something I want to do or not do as I plan for my teaching. Okay, group activity number 2. Okay. And again, I'm just trying to save everything I can so that I have access to resources. So as I plan, I have resources. Okay. Now, objective handout, student handout 1 and 2. These are much more condensed versions of that original lap I showed you. So some kids like to just be short and sweet and get through the reading. So I'm going to have that saved. The reason I have all this is because, again, if you have to differentiate, you might be in a position where you give them something easier to work with, or if you need to get information or content to parents and or to special ed teachers. This is a great resource. When it was in COVID, during COVID, I would read these and create a podcast for them. So there's all kinds of options you have as well. So we'll close that one. Here's objective B. So I'm going to download that. Okay, so now I have my content. Now I'm going to the learning guide, which is basically a great review because, again, it's open-ended questions. It's not that easy. They have to actually work and research to find the correct answers. So this is a great group activity as well. Or you can do this as a group in class. It's a great tool. And again, I've just saved it. And you can tell I haven't even looked at any of this yet. I'm just collecting content. Now here's a learning guide key. So if you give them the learning guide to do, I would also let them grade themselves and correct themselves with the learning guide key. And you can also do this with tables, or you can do it with groups, or you can let them do it individually. It's whatever you're comfortable with. Okay, so now I have more content. Okay, now I've got the post test. Okay, so I'll show you how I use the post test here in a second. In the meantime, I'm just going to download it and save it and close it. Okay, now I'm going to download the key. The key is the most important part of this because I'll show you how I can use that, how you can use this to your great advantage in teaching. Okay, so now I have a whole content for this week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and say we're going to teach MK012, the nature of sports marketing. It's going to be the intro module for understanding sports marketing. So the way that I did it is I would teach on Monday, I would give them a Kahoot. So we're going to go to Kahoot.com. And so if you haven't signed up for Kahoot, you have to sign up for Kahoot. It's a great resource. So I'm just going to log in through my credential at Idaho CTE. I'm really bummed because I should have changed my password on my Boise Schools account, because I had all of these quizzes, all these post tests created through Kahoot. And some are still showing up, some are public, some are private. But what you want to do is you want to start by going to Discover here. And if you discover, you may be able to find MK010. So I'm going to go, MK-012. Let's see if it shows, if anything shows up, because I always saved them under those names. Okay. So there's a teacher that had it. There's Austin's right there. Austin's one of my people, one of my new marketing teachers. So you can see how he used it. I'm going to see if my name shows up here, if I can find it here. Let's see. Nope, it doesn't. So let's go find Austin's. Austin's will be good, because I think Austin's is the 20 questions. So here we go. We're going to go to Austin Rogerson, who's a teacher at West Ada. And just a pro tip, he might have a bunch of these already set up, and you can just verify, okay, it's 20 questions. So that makes sense. I'm going to open up post test 1 just to verify that the questions align. Okay, so which of the following is a characteristic of a sporting event? Again, let me close this one out. We don't need that right now. Yep, there we go. So you can see it's the same one. So what I would do is come over here and say duplicate it. And then you can save it as your own. Okay, so you're going to duplicate it, and you're going to edit it. You're going to click on it so you can edit it. And now you're going to edit. Where is it here? Let's see. Here's edit. I'm sorry, I forgot where that was. So I'm going to click edit, and I would maybe change the name to my own name. I mean, I would get rid of duplicate it, but I would say MK-012 again for continuity, so you know where everything is. Let me do capital. So then everything is the same. See, that's the name of the lab. It's going to be I'll call it public for Bill Brown. Done, saved. Okay, so the way that I would use Kahoot is I would play Kahoot, and this would be my pre-test. So what would happen is the kids would do the Kahoot, and then when you're done with the Kahoot, you have access to be able to download data. And so then you can see how they do on a pre-test. I would also use this because you can introduce the topic. Again, all these questions are fantastic, and you're exposing them to the content. So this would be my Monday. I would always do Kahoot on Monday. Okay. Then once we're done with the Kahoot, we could get data. We could see what they know. We can see what they don't know. And then I'm in a position to be ready to teach. Now, at the end of the Kahoot, I would have them go to the learning guide or this lab and have them read the lab. I would say, okay, Monday, we're going to do the Kahoot. As we complete the Kahoot, I will take the time to discuss in detail correct answers and why. It's my first introduction and first repetition of the content. Then I would have them read the laps for the remainder of the class. I had a 50-minute period. If you have blocks, then you may want to just have a little break after they do the reading, and then you go right into day 2, which would then be the individual activity 1, and then have them, once they're done, give about 20 minutes to do the group or individual activity 1. Where is it? There we go. So here's activity 1. There's the key. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong one. Individual activity 1. There it is. I would maybe print this out, or you can do this on the board if you want. You can just have this up, and they can do it on the projector if you want to save paper. You can maybe set it up in a Google's form or in a Microsoft Forms. I didn't mess with it. I print it out or have them do it on a piece of paper. And so anyway, then after they're done with activity 1, I would make a decision if I want them to do activity 2 or not. So that would be my Tuesday. My second session would be the activities they could do. I would fill the period with either individual activity 1 and 2 or individual activity 1 and group activity 1, whichever I wanted to do, whichever made the most sense to me. Okay, you can do what you want. Again, I'm just giving you some thoughts. Okay, then on Wednesday, what I would do is I try to find some sort of relevance. I would try to say, okay, what's the relevance of the topic, okay? Try to bring stories into play. Find some other resources, maybe a video or something that ties into what they're learning. I would do a little research on that. What's relevant right now. So if this was the beginning of a school year, because this normally was one of my first weeks, I talk about college football. Obviously, I live in Boise State football. I try to ask them who their NFL teams. I'd ask them who their favorite sporting teams were. So then I could really get more feedback from the kids, so I could more know of their story and what interests them. So that's what I would do the Wednesday. Now, at the end of the day, Wednesday, or the first of the day, Thursday, I would then go to, I would create what's called a Quizlet. So if you go to Quizlet, Quizlet is a really good resource. It's called Quizlet.com. If you'll go to Quizlet.com and you register, you can get all these are free. Kahoot's free, Quizlet's free. If you're a teacher, you can pay for the paid part if you wanted to. I never did. Let's try this way. And I'll show you how to create what's called a Quizlet. Oops, let's see here. Oh, it's not working for me. So let's create an account. So we're going to go, my birthday is May. This isn't my real birthday, but I do it the same every year to every time I get asked this question. Gives me your password. And I'm a teacher, and I'm going to sign up. Okay, so now I'm in, start my free trial. I don't save my passwords. I don't do any of this because I don't want to forget and have my credit card charged. So I just go straight to Quizlet. So now I'm in Quizlet. So this is how you create Quizlets. Okay. So I'll just call it marketing 1. And I'm not going to worry about that. And then kids can provide school. I'll just BHS. For Boise High School. Senior high school, so that's where I taught. So we'll just create the class and go from there. So now I'm in the Quizlet homepage, and the way that you create a Quizlet from that glossary is you open the glossary, and you'll see it here. And so the glossary is now open. Well, it's about to be open. Here's the glossary. So what you're going to do is you're going to come to the bottom and you're going to grab it all the way up to just the definitions. That's all you're going to want. You're going to control copy, and then you're going to come into the Quizlet. You're going to create a study set. And with the study set, it will bring you to this page, and we'll just call it again MK012. So you have continuity, you always know where things are, and then you're going to import from Word, Excel, Google Docs, etc. You'll click on that, and then you'll right click and paste. So now you have all of the different options. So then you're going to go between term and definition. You're going to go here and click colon, because you'll see here, right here is where the break off is for the new line. Okay. And then you're going to import. Now come down, it will give you all of the names. Now this, for some reason, it put the numbers in. So I'm going to go down and just edit all these. Oops. Go over here. So I don't have it double up the numbers. You can see here how. Okay, so for that, I'm just going to create, it's going to be off a little bit for the sake of time. So now I've saved it. And now I've got my first set of flashcards. And then what happens is they can go have this as a review tool. You'll see the question, the different options there. And you can see if they want to do a review, you have all the definitions. and whatnot. Now, what I would do is I would create, you could also maybe find the study sets yourself. So if you go MK up here, kind of like Kahoot, MK-012, let's see if there's a set that's already been saved. There it is. There's my Boise Schools one from back in the day. So let's click on that. Okay. So again, amateurs, you see the list of the glossary items with the definitions that have already been created. And then what you do is you can do the in-class activity called live, Quizlet Live. So you'll click on that. And then the kids, you pick random teams, then you can decide how you want to do it. Now you have a great review activity where they would have to come in and they would then QR code it or log in, and it creates a really fun, dynamic learning experience. They have to find each other and play the game. If you want to look up Quizlet Live and maybe see how it works through some videos, you can obviously do that as well. But again, using the glossary for Quizlet Live, that would be what I would do on either the end of the day Wednesday or the beginning of the day Thursday, because then they would, when they come back Thursday morning, I'd maybe have them do the learning guide. So again, here's a learning guide. Okay, again, it goes through some quick assessments for them. You can give them a learning guide post key or key. So then they have the correct answers for immediate feedback. I'm a big fan of letting the kids grade their own work. Again, their feedback is immediate and they know where they got it right or wrong, and they can ask questions, they can collaborate. So then what I would do is give them their their learning guide, and then I would give them the post test. Now, the thing I love about the post test is look how clear the questions are. Again, it's repeating. Oops. Let me close these out. There's too many documents. So I'm going to go, I'm sorry, post test. So on the post test, you're going to see, let's do the post test again. For some reason, it's not there. It is. So now you have the questions. So what I would do is I would cut and paste the post test into a Google form or Microsoft form, depending on what I was using. I used Google. And then what would happen is in the Google form, you could say you give the correct answer. So I would just kind of have it side by side, the key. So I could cut and paste the correct answers. So you see here the correct answers. So very detailed. So question one, which of the following is a characteristic of a sporting event? It's intangible and perishable. So the correct answer you would do on your doc would be A, and then I would cut and paste the correct answer. And then in Forms and or Google Docs, you can say with correct and incorrect answer, give feedback, and I would give the feedback. If you can't figure that out, I will work with you one-on-one. Just reach out to me and we'll set up a Zoom call and I'll show you how to do it. And then same thing with number two. And the reason I like this is their feedback was immediate. And I'd always tell the kids, even if you got it right, doesn't mean you knew it. So you go through all your correct and incorrect answers, verify that you knew the correct answer. And then I would give them attempt 2. And again, I will help you with that individually. But again, that's how I did it. That doesn't mean that's how you have to do it. I'm just trying to give you the resources. So then here's what's really cool, because if we go back to the original Kahoot, you have data, the Kahoot, you can save the data. And now you can compare the post-test to the pre-test, and you can document and validate student growth. So you're giving data to your administrators, which is generally speaking, part of your requirements. Okay. So with that being said, you see now, here's the folder. I have all the curriculum that I need to teach that section. This is the nature of sports marketing. So I hope that helped you out. Hope that got you through the understanding as to how to use MBA research. Now, with that being said, I'm going to open this up in another window just because I'm worried about it taking forever to load, because sometimes it does. I'm going to collapse all so you can see a list of all the modules. Now what you can do is you can say, hey, I want to teach this one first, so I'm going to move them up. See how you can drag it or drag it back down. You can move it around any way you want to do it, okay? And so it allows you to set it up. Now the other thing it allows you to do is if you go to Commons, if you want to add something else. So let's just say you want to teach something, you want to teach something, let's just say you want to do something with marketing plans during this section. You can type in marketing plan, and then you'll see there's an exact module of MP007. So you click on that and you can go through it again, just like we have. You can see all the content, you can read through it, you can see if it's something you want to teach. And if it is, you can import it. You can import it into your class. So I'm going to import that into my demo class just for fun. And then all of a sudden I've got it all there. Then I can realign it and set it up. So with that being said, I hope this gives you enough information to get you started with MBA research. Now, I do have a bunch of classes already created that will allow you to, hold on, let me try to get out of here. Stop sharing the screen. All right, where are my controls here? Oh, there we go. So now we're in a position where we can you can get everything set up as relates to getting you the content. So with that being said, I'm trying to see why it's not letting me do this here. I'm gonna stop sharing the screens here. Oh, there we go. There's where we stop. Anyway, I'm still sharing the screen, so I'm gonna stop sharing now. And hopefully you have enough information to significantly improve your content area as far as information. And please don't hesitate to reach out if I can help you with anything else. Have a good day.